Hello, this is just a late night check-in. Don't worry about ending a relationship that's toxic if you're not quite ready to leave. Don't worry about leaving a job that you're miserable in if you're not ready to leave, if you're afraid that you won't have enough money. I speak to a lot of people who impulsively leave situations, and then 2 months later, they're in a hole again and they have to reapply for another job. That's because they're running from themselves. They're running from themselves. So there's no sense in doing that. This is how you have to start to perceive reality. Reality is like a virtual reality game. It's like a video game. Think of it as a vibrational reality. Everything is energy. What you see with your physical eyes, you might think is true, but is only true because you have a belief, for instance, a belief that you don't have enough money, that you'll never make money, that pairs you up with a job that you don't want to apply at. If you didn't have that fear around money, you never would have been introduced to that job or to that reality. Okay? You get what I'm trying to say. So the solid reality that you see with your physical eyes is only what you think is true based on where you are. That reality changes when you change your internal digits. You feel me? So there are millions of realities superimposed within this reality. But you're going to match up with the one that you're vibrating at. All right? And sometimes we have to go through really horrible experiences because that's where you gain wisdom. That's where you gain clarity. You learn lessons and then you graduate from that lesson and you never have to revisit that lesson. So my suggestion to you is rather than leaving a job just to leave it, just because you're fed up, because there's a saying that goes, wherever you go, there you are, which means you can't run from yourself. And I always say the universe has a tracking device on you. So start thinking like this. I'll make it very simple for you. Who do you see yourself becoming? What is your highest potential? What is your highest possible reality? Okay? Now, with that in mind, the next time you're in the kitchen with that guy that you don't like or that you can't stand or that woman that's really toxic, or the next time you're at that job, I want you to only feed what is true for you. Your frequency, right? So let's say you're working at a job right now, but in your mind, you're a superstar. Okay? If an employee pisses you off, but you're a superstar in your mind, right? That employee is kind of like a fan hating on you. This is how you have to start to think. There are all these parallel realities happening at the same time. So if that employee is being mean to you, right? But you're a superstar. Then you have to think, wow, that job is training me right now to be a superstar. I'm not going to talk to the haters. I don't owe that person a response, right? So the key is to work with this solid reality, which is just an illusion, to change your internal digits. That's it. To dial in a new reality. So for instance, if you have family members that always push your buttons, that always provoke you, if you get reactive, are you not believing that reality? Of course you are. Of course you are. But if in your highest reality, you only accept love, kindness, which is what you give as well, you only accept that. If that's the highest version of you, then when that person tries to trigger you or to provoke you, you go silent. Now what's happening? You're starting to direct your focus to your internal reality, the one that you're in the process of creating. That's it. And in time, the universe is going to eject you from that job. It's going to eject you from that relationship. Why? Because that situation has nothing left to teach you. And the universe knows that. The universe needs to keep this video game interesting for you. You understand? So if it's not interesting to you anymore and you've graduated from the lessons, meaning you're not feeding your own fear, You're not feeding your own trauma. See, every time you get reactive, every time you complain, every time you're negative, you're just feeding your old traumas. You're feeding your past. You've got to let the past go. You've got to start being a futurist. Have a futuristic mindset. Who are you going to become? Start holding that now. And as you feed that, what you're currently in is going to fade away. It's going to evaporate into thin air. And before you know it, you're going to be in a completely different reality. That's how it works. Does this help you? So there's no sense in leaving your job just to leave your job. If you're afraid to leave your job, stay at the job. Address the fear. That's it. Okay? Focus on who you're going to become. And every time something triggers your fear, don't engage with it. Pivot your focus. Feed that higher reality every single time. Right? You got this. I love you.